and repolarization. Now, how can these electrodes placed on the skin detect the said electrical changes coming from the heart? So, the said electrical changes coming from the heart are conducted or transmitted by body fluids, especially the blood, towards the skin. So, from the heart, the cardiac impulses are transmitted by the blood or the body fluids towards the skin. And the electrodes attached on the skin can now detect the said electrical changes and then transmitted to the ECG machine. Eventually, we'll have a recording of the said electrical activities. When we have those recordings present on the paper, we call that the electrocardiogram or simply the ECG recordings. Okay? And the electrodes, they are placed on the extremities. Some are placed on the chest. So here are the extremity electrodes or the limb electrodes. So we have 4 of them. Usually color-coded yan. We have one on the right arm, okay, colored red, and one on the yellow arm, on the left arm, colored yellow. Another one present on the left leg, okay, with the ankles, okay, and another one on the right leg. Yan ang color coding nila. Some hospitals, okay, they follow this color coding, but in other hospitals, they do not. So if it is not color coded, they're simply labeled RA, LA, LL, RL. O the RA right arm, LA left arm, LL left leg, RL right leg. Okay? And in the actual procedure or the actual recording, what are considered active electrodes are the electrodes present on the right arm, and left leg. Okay? Okay. The right leg electrode is not involved. The major purpose of the right leg electrode is to function as a body ground. So ground for what? So to remove interferences, okay, or remove electrical activities coming from non-cardiac tissue that are also considered automatic. For example, the smooth muscles, okay? O yung activity ng neurons, may action potential yun. Yung subskeletal muscles that are continuously active, okay? For example, the muscle involved in respiration, the diaphragm. So we cannot stop the activity of those muscles. Okay. So these smooth muscles, these continuously active skeletal muscles, and the neurons. Okay. The electrical activities produced by these other tissues are collected by the right leg electrode. So ang function niya, body ground. Okay. Remove, okay, or gather electrical activities coming from non-cardiac tissue. So, in the actual recording, ang important, right arm, and left leg electrodes. Okay? Responsible for detecting cardiac electrical activities. Okay? Other than the limb electrodes or extremity electrodes, we have also electrodes attached on the chest or thoracic area. Okay? Now, and we will place those electrodes, okay, on specific parts of the chest. And in here, okay, you will count the intercostal spaces. And when counting for the intercostal spaces, you will naturally palpate the said spaces on the chest. And in palpating the intercostal spaces, okay, may number yun, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, or so on, okay. Yung first palpable, remember, the first palpable intercostal space is not the first, okay? It is not the first intercostal space. Yung first palpable intercostal space. The first palpable intercostal space is the second. It is the second intercostal space. So when you are counting the intercostal spaces while palpating from the said spaces, you will start with number 2. Okay, so do not start with number 1. So pag count, once palpating for the intercostal spaces, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Okay, the first intercostal space is not normally palpable. Why? Because it is underneath the clavicle. So it is covered by the clavicle. So we cannot palpate normally the first intercostal space. Okay, Now, we will place the chest electrodes. Color-coded din yan. Okay? Labeled sila V1, V2, V3, V4, so on. So, yung V1 electrode, colored red din yan. It is placed on the fourth intercostal space, right parasternal border, or right sternal margin. So, right side ng sternum, fourth intercostal space. Okay? Now, remember, yung first palpable is the second intercostal space. So, start ka ng number 2, plus number 3, and then 4. You will place the V1 electrode, as mentioned, on the fourth intercostal space, right parasternal border, or right parasternal margin. Ayun siya. Okay. Yan ang V1. Then, followed by V2. Colored yellow yan. Place also on the same level, fourth intercostal space, but at the left side of the sternum. Okay? Sa left side ng sternum siya, left parasternal border. Now, okay, after this, do not place immediately V3. You place first V4. Okay? Lagay mo muna yung V4. Okay? Colored brown yan. So, it is placed at the fifth intercostal space, left mid-clavicular line. Okay? Minsan ang tawag niya na nipple line for the males. Do not use the term nipple line for females. Kasi variable yung position ng nipple sa females. This we already know. Okay? So sa females, you look at the middle ng clavicle. Nakatabi yung black line na vertical. So sa left mid-clavicular line. You place the V4. Okay? Kung sa lalaki yun, just underneath the nipple line, fifth intercostal space. Once you have placed V4, you can now put V3. V3 electrode is simply placed between V2 and V4. Okay? Colored green siya. Okay? So, place midway between V2 and V4. Okay? Kaya nag-start muna ng V4 before placing V3. Kasi midway ang V3. Okay? Once we now have V1, V2, V3, V4 attached on the chest, okay? We now place the V5 electrode. Ang V5 electrode, colored black yon. It is placed at the same level, same intercostal space ng V4. Pero placed at the left anterior axillary line. Ayan siya. Left anterior, LAAL, left anterior axillary line. Lateral and horizontal to V4. So same level sila, fifth intercostal space. Take note yung V4, left mid-clavicular line, fifth intercostal space. Sorry. Ang V5, okay, left anterior axillary line. Fifth intercostal space niya. Kaya same level as V4. Okay? As we place now V6. Ang V6, same level then as the V4 and V5, fifth intercostal space. But it is now placed left mid-anterior, left mid-axillary line, sorry. Left mid-axillary line. Yun yung LMAL. Okay? So, the same level din as V4, as well as V5. Fifth intercostal space. Okay? So, yun ang different chest electrodes. Okay? Remember the specific positioning on the chest. Ito pala yung V6. Okay? And these are the electrodes. So, hindi yung complete na yan. Okay? The electrodes are these colored things, okay? At the tip of the wire. May mga label yan sila. Okay? Right arm, right leg, okay? Left leg, left arm, okay? Yan ang mga extremity electrodes. So, yan ang respective colors nila. Okay? Ito naman yung mga chest electrodes. Okay? Usually color-coded. Okay? Ay, sorry. So, they're attached to their respective wires or cables and then eventually attached to the machine. Okay? When we are now doing the procedure, okay, we will place those electrodes, okay, di ba, on the specific parts ng body. For the extremities, we use this clamp. Ito yung mga clamps for the extremities or the limbs. Doon ang attachment ng electrodes. Okay, merong placement ng electrodes on the said clamps, eventually attached on the extremities. Okay, right arm, left leg, okay, right leg. Okay. Then for the chest electrodes, we use these suction cups. Okay. O, yan naman ang insertion ng electrodes. So, ang appearance nila ito ay electrodes. Okay? Present sa tip ng wire. Okay? And to be connected on the clamps for the limbs. Ayan, pag naka-attach na sila ganyan. Ito naman sa chest electrodes. If attached on the suction cups. Okay? Appearance nila, ayan. Ayan yung clamp attached on the left extremity. Ito naman yung clamp attached on the right extremity. Kasi ito yung mga suction cups with the respective electrodes attached on the chest. Okay? Yan ang appearance, ha? And okay, remember the placement ng mga chest electrodes. And remember, you must know the flow of impulses in the human heart. I-review natin yan kasi we will, as mentioned, try to obtain recording ng electrical activities of the heart as they are transmitted from the SA node to the whole part of the heart. So mag-start siya sa SA node, di ba? Yan ang cardiac pacemaker. And then transmitted to the whole atrial musculature. What are the different internodal tracts? Anybody? To eventually activate the atrial muscles, right and left. Hello? Ano ba kayo? Anybody? Bachman? Back. Oh, very good, ha? And Torel. Okay, very good. Okay. So, ayan sila. So, eventually, the impulses coming from the SA node are transmitted towards the whole atrial muscles, right and left, utilizing these internodal tracts. O yung posterior na Torel, activating the right atrium. Yung middle, the Wenckebach, will activate the right atrium and the interatrial septum. Yung atrial septum. Okay? And also the middle side ng right atrium. Yung anterior tract Bachman activates the left atrial region. And eventually, all those impulses will proceed towards the AV node. Di ba magko-converge yan dyan? And what will happen eventually once they reach the AV node? What is normally observed? Okay. What is normally observed once the impulses reaches the AV node? Okay, hello. Ayaw naman sumagot agad, no? Ha? Oo. Wala na, ha? What is observed normally happening when the impulses reaches the AV node?
AV node delay po.
Okay, so there will be a delay or slowing of the impulses. Okay? We observe what we call decremental conduction. And you must know the importance of the delay. So there will be a slight delay, of the impulses as they are transmitted towards the ventricles. And from the AV node, it will initially activate the bundle of His, to eventually activate the bundle branches. Okay? That will now start activating the ventricle. And as presented, the part of the ventricle initially activated, it's the upper part of the ventricular septum. Also known as the basal part. Kasi yung upper part ng heart is known as the base. Why? It is arranged as an inverted triangle in the chest. Kaya yung upper part niya, we call it the base. So yung initially activated part ng ventricle, it's the basal part of the ventricular septum. Because from the AV node, the impulses are transmitted to the bundle of His, located at the basal part of the septum. And then eventually it will activate the bundle branches to activate the whole septal area. From the bundle branches, the impulses will proceed towards the apex of the heart. Ayan. Okay? And from the apex, the impulses will be transmitted towards the ventricular walls, right and left, utilizing the Purkinje fibers. Okay? So as presented, the last part of the heart activated or depolarized, it's the posterobasal region of the ventricles, near the pulmonary conus. Because the impulses from the apex transmitted by the Purkinje fibers, they're moving upward towards the base. Okay, ang last part activated, as mentioned, posterobasal region of the ventricles near the pulmonary conus. O yan ang manner ng impulse transmission. Remember this. Okay? And if we look at the direction ng impulse flow, okay, ang last part activated the basal part of the ventricles, left and right. If you look at the direction ng current flow, in the atrium, it will be moving from the SA node to the AV node. Yan ang direction niya. From the right side of the heart to the center, going to the left side, central part ng heart, towards the AV node. Okay? And from there, the impulses will be moving towards where? The AV node, to the bundle of fish, almost the same direction. Okay? To eventually activate the septum. But they observe, once the impulses are now in the major part ng septum, there is early activation of the left side than the right side of the septum. So, earlier yung activation or depolarization of the left side ng septum compared to the right. So, in the septal region, the impulses will be moving left to right. Yeah, remember that. From there, the impulses will be moving towards the apex. It will again be moving right to left or going down. It will move eventually towards the apical part of the heart. And from the apex, the impulses are transmitted by Purkinje fibers moving upward towards the base. Posterior-basal region ng ventricles near the pulmonary conus. So, direction niya yan upward. Pareho yan, right and left ventricles. So, this current flow in the different parts of the heart now, we call it the cardiac vector. Okay? So, yun ang direction ng current flow in the different parts of the heart. Okay? If we look at the average current flow, yung average direction, so majority are moving in this direction. So, yun ang average niya. Moving from the right side of the heart, going to the left, downward. So, yun ang average cardiac vector. So do not forget this. So it is essential in the analysis ng ECG recordings. Okay? So as mentioned, to obtain such recordings, we need a machine. And the machine is connected utilizing cables or wires, to the patient. Sa tip ng wire, we have the electrodes attached on respective parts of the patient's body. Okay? Dati ganyan lang. Before, it's just like this. Now, the ECG machine, they're connected to computers. So, we can have faster ability to obtain the ECG results. No need to go to the hospital. Sa internet na lang. Yung ECG tracings are eventually send using the computers. So, sa internet. So, you just wait for the results while at home if you are the attending physician. No need to go to the hospital. Before, walang computers, di ba? You must go to the hospital to be able to see the results of the said procedure. Okay? So, ito yung common request sa ECG. Mga nurses, daming nurses sa inyo, di ba? What do you call this procedure? Most common sa ECG. Ano, nilalagay nyo lang, ECG. So, ang common request, resting ECG. Okay? So, yung patient nyo dapat, should be undisturbed. Do not disturb the patient while doing the procedure, resting. Okay? Because if you disturb the patient, you talk to the patient, you allow the patient to move. The additional movement ng mga skeletal muscles can interfere with the recording. Pag resting ECG, pag resting ECG, the patient should really be rested. Okay? Lying flat on bed. Ayan ang ECG machine. Okay? Ayan yung mga wires. Ayan yung mga electrodes. And the said wires are connected to the ECG machine. So that we can have the recording of the patient's electrical activities. Okay? When doing the resting ECG, remember these parameters. Yung initials na grip. Meaning yan, grip the patient, report. Identify yourself, and then introduce, identify the patient, introduce yourself. okay, to the patient. Then, okay, tell the patient about the procedure, and it should be performed privately. It's only you and the patient present in the examination room. And you must obtain a permission from the patient. And you must also have the request from the patient's attending physician. Okay? Tapos pag okay na, you allow the patient to lie down on the examining table. Okay? Dapat almost naked siya, di ba? Kasi expose yung wrist, yung ankles, and chest for the placement ng electrodes. Okay? Now, before we put the electrodes on the said respective body parts, you clean the electrode sites. You just use alcohol, okay? 70% alcohol, okay? No need to utilize anything, okay, special to clean the electrode sites. Okay? Then apply the electrodes. Okay? Utilizing the said clamps and suction cups. Diba? Clamps for the extremities, suction cups for the chest. Dapat correct yung placement. Yung right arm electrode sa right arm, left arm electrode sa left arm. Okay? Properly labeled naman yun. Okay? So, you will really do it correctly. Just look at the label. Kung color-coded yun, remember the color coding. Okay? Then, turn on the machine. Now, if the machine is new, kung brand new yun, okay, they need to be calibrated. Ang calibration niya, okay, for every millivolt, so there must be a fluctuation of 10 millimeters, okay, do sa recording machine or sa ano tawag dito, recording arm ng machine. Dapat mag-fluctuate siya ng 10 millimeter for every millivolt. So yung sa voltage. And for the speed, it should be about 25 millimeter per second. Yung speed ng movement ng paper in the machine. Kung brand new siya, kinakalibrate mo na yun. Okay? Yung ibang medtech medtech. Yung ibang ECG technician na ok-ok, before they do the procedure, they always calibrate the machine. Even if it's already used before. Kahit hindi na siya brand new. Kinakalibrate pa rin. Once, they will utilize the machine. Yung ibang hindi ok-ok, mga obsession, alam nila pre-calibrated na yun. So they just turn on the machine. Okay? Pero iba, to be sure, they calibrate the machine before starting the recording. Pag okay na yan, record and print. Okay? The electrical activities of the patient's heart or subject's heart. Once you now have the ECG recordings or the electrocardiogram, label the tracing. Put the name of the patient, the date of birth, okay, for us to know the age, okay. The attending physician, name of the attending physician. Pag inpatient yon, put the bed number or room number of the patient. Place the date and time. If it is an outpatient, pag outpatient siya, place the address of the patient. Okay? Pero pag inpatient, o di bed number lang, kung private room. Okay? Kung as a ward, bed number. So, place the bed number and the ward. Okay? Tapos kung private, edi room number. Okay? Then, pag okay na lahat, disconnect ka. Okay? Electrodes from the patient. Tapos, i-remove mo na yung electrodes. Okay? From the clamps, from the suction cups. Okay? And as mentioned, do not disturb the patient while the procedure is ongoing. Because any activity from the patient while doing resting ECG can interfere with your recordings. Kaya kailangan talaga fully rested. Okay? But there are certain procedures wherein we allow the patient to move while doing the ECG. Gumagalaw sila. Ito yung mga exercise ECG or the stress ECG. What is the importance of doing these other ECG procedures? Why is there a need to do these procedures? Okay? But ay sumagot, di ba may mga nurses naman sa inyo? Hello, ayaw talaga ha.
Sir, to determine any presence of abnormality that is not detected in normal ECG.
Oh, very good. Okay, so there are certain cardiac problems not manifested when doing resting ECG procedure. Pag rested kasi, there is lesser activity ng heart. Okay, lesser work for the heart. Resting ka. Some cardiac problems are manifested when we put additional work on the heart. So, pag nag-increase ang cardiac workload, and one form of increasing cardiac workload is exercise. Okay? So, it's a form of stress to the patient's body. So, it will put additional work on the heart. Then, if it happens, we can at times observe or we can record the cardiac problem of the patient. Okay, ang tawag dyan, stress ECG. And if you notice, if you are doing this procedure, di ba nag-move ang patient, we don't have any more electrodes on the extremities. Wala na yan. The electrodes are all placed on the chest. As a chest lang. Okay? Selected electrodes na lang yun. Applied only on the chest. Wala nang electrodes sa arms o sa legs. Kasi exercise ECG, nag-move yan. May movement ng arms, movement ng legs. O yung movement ng muscles in the said extremities can interfere with the recording. So to lessen the interferences, the electrodes are just placed on the chest, closer to the heart. Okay? Para lesser na yung interferences. Okay? Now, there are also times wherein even doing exercise ECG or stress ECG, we'll still not see the cardiac problem. Will not be present also na result ng exercise ECG. So what is another ECG procedure requested? Sa mga other cardiac problems not presented or not recorded sa resting ECG and exercise ECG. Meron ng Holter monitoring. Ito, continuous recording. Mga, 24-hour recording, 48 hours recording. Okay? Minsan ang tawag dyan, event or loop recording. So in here, the patient will be utilizing a portable ECG. Okay? Always attached using electrodes to the patient's body. Lagi nakakonect yan. Continuous recording. This is because some cardiac problems are manifested when the person is sleeping at night. Kaya kahit tulog ka niyan sa gabi, even at night, 24 hours. Continuously, the said, portable ECG with the respective electrodes. So they're attached on your, on the patient's body. Kasi nga, some cardiac problems, they are manifested when the patient is sleeping at night. Okay, yun yung purpose ng Holter monitoring. Kaya continuous recording yan. Usually 24 hours, but some can last for 48 hours. Okay? Now, once we have the recording, it will appear like this. Yan ang electrocardiogram or the ECG recording. Yan yung mga fluctuations na yan. Yan yung mga electrical activities of the subject or patient's heart. We usually call it the electrocardiogram. Okay? And in the electrocardiogram, kita mo yung mga different fluctuations na yan. Okay? Specifically labeled. We have recordings what we call as the bipolar limb leads. Yun ang leads 1, 2, and 3. Yan ang bipolar extremity leads or bipolar limb leads. Then we have also the unipolar extremity leads or the unipolar limb leads. So yun ang ABR, ABL, ABF. Okay? And the other leads in the electrocardiogram are the chest leads. Sometimes they are called the precordial leads. Unipolar din yun. Unipolar chest leads. Labeled as V1 as the name of the electrodes mentioned a while ago. So they are labeled V1, V2, V3, V4, V5, V6. Okay? So yung kaya recordings ng ECG, okay, divided into several leads. And we have normally or usually a total of 12 ECG leads. Yan ang common. So, di ba? 3 bipolar, 3 unipolar limb leads, and 6 unipolar chest leads. So, a total of 12. This was invented or developed by Dr. Willem Einthoven. Tagal na yan. Okay? And this was a very good invention. Especially in diagnosing cardiac problem. Kasi it's a non-invasive procedure. Okay? Some patients are afraid or some persons are afraid to undergo ECG. Sabihin nila, ay, ayoko, makukuryente ako niyan. Okay? Remember, it is the other way around. You will not be electrocuted. Remember, the machine is the one taking electrical activities from the patient or subject's body. So, yung current or the electrical activities are moving towards the machine. It's not the other way around. So, hindi ka makukuryente. You'll not get electrocuted. While undergoing the ECG. So, di ba? Sabi, it will record electrical activities from the patient's or subject's heart. So, ang movement ng electrical activity is from the patient to the machine. Utilizing the electrodes. Di ba? Okay. Now, what are these ECG leads? So, the leads are the ones utilizing the electrodes. Okay? So, if the ECG lead, they are utilizing pair of electrodes. So, we have 2 electrodes. Okay? That measures the electrical potential difference between 2 corresponding locations of electrode attachment on the patient's body. We call that bipolar. And these are only the extremity leads. So, yung leads 1, 2, and 3. Those are the only bipolar extremity leads. So, it will involve 2 active electrodes. One electrode is connected to the negative terminal of the machine. Another electrode is connected to the positive terminal of the machine. Kaya sabi, bipolar extremity leads or limb leads. Dalawa, 2 active electrodes. One attached to the negative terminal, another one attached to the positive terminal of the machine. Now, the other leads, we have only 1 active electrode. Yung other electrodes are interconnected and they are referred to as virtual electrode. Because if we interconnect the other electrodes present on the patient's body or interconnected sila, ang electrical activity obtained is 0. Negligible siya. So sa unipolar leads, we only have 1 active electrode. We call it the physical electrode. And that is connected to the positive terminal of the machine. 1 active electrode lang, the physical electrode. The other electrodes are interconnected. And we call that the virtual electrode, also known as the Wilson's central terminal. Okay? Pag nag-interconnect ka ng mga electrodes, yung electrical activity recorded is almost 0. So, negligible siya. So, ang tawag nila, virtual electrode. Ito yung mga unipolar. So, we have extremity leads. They are also known as augmented extremity leads. And the chest leads, also known as precordial leads. Mga unipolar yun. They only have 1 active electrode. And the active electrode, the physical electrode, is connected to the positive terminal of the machine. Now, if we now have the leads, yung bipolar extremity leads, diba yung lead 1, we have 2 active electrodes, as mentioned, bipolar. Okay? So in here, remember that in the bipolar extremity lead 1, yung electrode on the right arm is connected to the negative terminal ng machine. Yung electrode sa left arm is connected to the positive terminal of the machine. And the different leads ng ECG, we are also looking at the direction ng current flow. And usually, pag mga leads, ang current flow, as stated by Dr. Einthoven, so it will be moving from the negative to the positive side. Kaya sa lead 1, di ba, ang negative electrode nasa right arm. Positive electrode nasa left arm. So yung axis niya, we call that the axis for the leads. It will be moving towards the left arm. Yan ang axis ng lead 1. Kasi ang negative electrode nasa right arm, ang positive electrode nasa left arm. Sa mga leads, okay, we are also looking at the current flow moving from negative to positive. Okay, sa lead 2, ito naman ang placement ng electrodes. Yung active electrodes are the ones present on the right arm and left leg. Yung right arm attached to the negative terminal ng machine, yung positive, okay, electrode, okay, nasa left leg. So ang axis niya from right arm to left leg. Ayan, negative to positive as stated by Dr. Einthovens. Ayan ang lead 2. Ang lead 3, ang active electrodes, okay, bipolar, di ba, dalawa. So ang negative is attached on the left arm. Ang positive sa left leg. So ang movement or axis ng lead 3 from left arm to left leg. Yan ang lead 3 axis. What's the importance of these 3 bipolar limb leads? Okay, looking at the axis, okay? Di ba, we are determining the electrical activity moving from right arm to left arm. So it is trying to detect the electrical changes happening at the basal part of the heart. Upper part ng heart yan, di ba? Ang heart nasa chest. So it is trying to detect what is happening at the upper or basal part of the heart. Yun namang lead 2, ayan, it is looking at the right side of the heart. Trying to determine what are the electrical activities happening at the right side. Ang lead 3 is looking at the electrical activity of the heart happening at the left side. So if you remember this, you will know that looking at the bipolar limb leads, we have a 3-dimensional picture of the heart. 3-dimension na yan. Lead 1 is giving us the activity sa upper or basal part. Lead 2, right side. Lead 3, left side. Di ba 3-dimensional na yun? Okay? Just looking at the recordings. Doon sa leads 1, 2, and 3. Okay? As pag in-interconnect mo, if we interconnect the 3 bipolar limb leads, di ba lead 1 na yun, left, right arm to left arm. Lead 2, right arm to left leg. Lead 3, left arm to left leg. So, there will be a creation of a triangle. And Dr. Einthovens, siya nag-develop yan. So, he calls it the Einthovens triangle. And sa center ng triangle, it's the heart. Okay? So, ang tawag niya dyan, Einthovens triangle. Created if we interconnect the axis ng bipolar limb leads. Okay? And Dr. Einthovens also created an equation utilizing the bipolar limb leads. So he stated that the recordings ng lead 2, it is equal to the sum of the electrical recordings observed in leads 1 and 3. So yung electrical activity recorded ng lead 2 equal to the sum of the electrical activities recorded in the other bipolar extremity leads. So, yung leads 1 and 3. Kunin mo yung total nun. Total electrical activity recorded ng leads 1 and 3. That will be equal to the electrical activity recorded ng lead 2. Or you can also represent using this equation. Sabi, lead 1 plus open close parenthesis minus lead 2 plus lead 3 is equal to 0. Kasi may margin of error. Pag kinocompute mo na, may margin of error, mga plus 5 or minus 5. Okay? Pero usually yan, exact. Okay? Sorry. Remember this equation. Okay? Kaya ito, for you to see that the equation is almost always correct. Okay? Di ba yan ang mga bipolar extremity leads o mga recordings na. Kaya lang, lead 1, lead 2, lead 3. Look at the recordings. What was stated by Dr. Einthovens. Sabi niya, yung recording ng lead 2 is equal to lead 1 plus lead 3. So look at the recordings ng lead 2. Di ba siya may tallest recorded wave? Ayan siya. Siya yung tallest eh. Okay? If we combine the recordings nung other bipolar limb leads, 1 and 3. Combine mo yan. Ayan sa 1. Ito yung sa 3. Combine mo siya. That will be equal to the recorded height nung tracing sa lead 2. Okay, sabi lead 2 is equal to lead 1 plus lead 3. Okay? Almost always, okay? Exact yan. Pero may margin of error nga. Plus 5 or minus 5. Okay? Now, why is it that there are also unipolar extremity leads? Di ba sa unipolar, we only have one active electrode. Pag unipolar, one active electrode lang yan. The other electrodes are interconnected. For example, in the electrodes present on the extremities. Pag sinabing unipolar, okay, we have the ABR as one of them. Dito yung active electrode present only on the right arm. Yung electrode sa left arm and left leg are interconnected. O yan yung virtual electrode. Okay? Almost zero ang electrical activity recorded. O yan ang centrals Wilson terminal. Okay? Or central terminal of Wilson. So, ang active electrode lang yung attached sa positive terminal ng machine and it is placed on the right arm. Di ba yung axis parating moving towards the positive. So, axis ngayon ng ABR will be moving towards the right arm. Yan. Yan ang ABR. And the axis will be moving naturally towards the right arm. Okay? That is the body part where we place the positive electrode. Or the electrode attached on the right arm is connected to the positive terminal of the machine. Pag ABL naman, parang mirror image lang. Okay? Ang electrode ngayon attached to the positive terminal ng machine present sa left arm. So ang axis, ayun, towards the left arm. Interconnected yung electrode sa right arm and left leg. That will be the axis of ABL. Sa ABF, another augmented extremity leads. Okay? Ang active electrode naman ngayon nasa left leg or left foot. Kaya ABF, F representing for the foot. Okay? So, yung active electrode nasa left leg or left foot. Interconnected yung electrode sa right arm and left arm. So, ang movement ng axis niyan towards the left leg or left foot. Yan ang axis ng ABF. Okay? What's the importance of this additional extremity leads na unipolar? If you look at the axis, yung ABR is trying to determine what is happening at the right uppermost region of the heart. Right uppermost yan ng heart. Yun namang ABL, left uppermost. Okay? Yung ABF is looking at the apical portion of the heart or lower part of the heart. Kaya if we add the axis ng unipolar or augmented limb leads, we'll now have a 6-dimensional picture of the heart. 6-dimension na yun, di ba? Lead 1, upper part of the heart. Lead 2, right side of the heart. Lead 3, left side of the heart. Ang ABR, left uppermost. ABL, right uppermost, left uppermost. Okay? Di ba? ABR, right uppermost. ABL, left uppermost. ABF, apical part or lower part of the heart. Kaya 6-dimensional na yan. Okay? Ayan sila. Yan ang ABR. Okay? Looking at the right uppermost portion of the heart. Ang ABL, left uppermost. ABF, lower or apical part of the heart. Okay? Di ba ito yung mga augmented or unipolar extremity leads. Okay? So, if you add the recordings ng ABR, ABL, ABF sa bipolar extremity leads, we now have a 6-dimensional picture of the electrical activities of the heart. Okay? Kaya yan yung ABR, ABL, ABF. Di ba? Okay? We combine it with the bipolar extremity leads. Oh, di ba direction ng ABR? Ayan, of the right arm. ABL, left arm. Okay? Oh, ABF, left foot. Oh, pag kinumbine natin yung bipolar, oh, ito. What is this bipolar extremity lead? Oh, horizontal siya. Anong lead yan? Bipolar. Lead 1. Very good. Okay? Oh, ito. What is this lead? Bipolar. No. Lead 3. Oh, lead 3 yan. Okay? Kasi ito yung lead 2. Oh. So, pag kinumbine mo sila, as mentioned, we have a 6-dimensional picture ng electrical activity ng heart. Sa ECG, we call it the hexagonal reference system. Nakikita mo na, we can observe, okay? We can now have a recording of the electrical activities happening at 6 different areas of the heart. Okay? So, 6-dimensional picture yan ng cardiac electrical activities. Yung nga lang, it is only limited. Limited siya to the frontal, vertical, or coronal regions ng heart. We will only see yung electrical activities happening at the anterior or the frontal plane. We'll never know what is happening laterally and posteriorly. Limited tayo sa frontal plane, utilizing the extremity leads. That's the reason why Dr. Einthoven's also created the chest leads. Okay, meron din chest leads. Di ba, applying electrodes on the different parts of the chest. So, this we already know. Na-mention na yan. Okay? Yung B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, B6. Okay? Ayan o. Ayan yung intercostal space. Okay? 1. We cannot palpate that intercostal space that is covered by the clavicle. So, okay, next palpable, yung, okay, or the first palpable intercostal space, number 2 siya. Okay, kaya ang start ng bilang mo, sabi ko, 2, 3, 4. Okay? O, tapos lalagay mo yung electrode sa B1, di ba? Fourth intercostal space, right parasternal margin. Or right parasternal border. Or sa right side ng sternum. So, ganun na kasimple. Okay. Tapos if we look at the different chest leads with the respective electrodes on the chest, it is now responsible for telling us what is happening at the transverse plane. Transverse to horizontal plane. But can also tell us what is happening anteriorly. Tapos ngayon meron na tayong ability to know what is happening laterally. Pero meron siyang information about what is happening anteriorly. Ayan, yung B1, B2, B3, B4, anterior yan. Yung B1, B2, right anterior. O yung B2, almost center na sa septum ng ventricle. Okay? Together with B3. Pero ang B2, more sa right side, B3 sa left side. Okay? B4, left anterior na yan. Yung B5, B6, left lateral. So, meron na tayong information, not only in the anterior part of the heart, pati sa lateral. Now, in certain cases, some cardiologists will request for additional chest electrodes or thoracic electrodes. Yung B7, B8. Additional to in certain cases. But we don't usually perform utilize B7, B8. Kasi ang common problems naman ng heart, usually happening sa anterior and lateral. Usually left side ng heart. Okay? Bira naman sa right. Okay? Usually left kasi greater ang workload ng left ventricle. Pero some nare-request yung B7, B8. Okay, why? Some problems are developed posteriorly. Ito posterior na to. Mga posterior, hindi na to chest, tawag na thoracic leads. Sa likod na yan, hindi na yan chest. Okay? Thoracic leads na siya. Okay? Yung B7, the electrode is also placed at the same level ng B4, B5, B6. O fifth intercostal space. Pero doon na siya sa left posterior axillary line. Di ba itong B5, left anterior axillary line. B6, mid axillary line. Ito, posterior axillary line. Same level ng B4, B5, B6. Ang B8, scapular line. Same level din. Pero bihirang i-request yan. Oo. But the said thoracic leads can help determine what is happening posteriorly. Posterior part ng heart. Okay? Ang common lang yung B1 hanggang B6. So it will present, okay, the electrical activities happening anteriorly hanggang lateral o left lateral. Okay, sabi horizontal plane or the transverse plane or the axial plane. And that is perpendicular to the coronal plane. Okay? Kaya we'll have a greater picture of what is happening at the heart. Okay, meron ka na ngayong lateral picture ng electrical activities. Okay, yan ang importance ng chest leads. Ayan pa isang relationship. Yung mga chest leads. Okay, sa right and left ventricles. Okay, kaya sabi ko, ang B1, right side na yan. Ang B2 sa septum. Okay, B3 halos sa septum din yan eh. Okay, left side. Okay, but will also involve the left anterior part ng heart. The left ventricle na yan together with B4. Ang B5, B6, left lateral. Okay? Ayan pa isa. So yung B1, B2, di ba ang B1 right side daw, septum. B2, left side ng septum. Okay? O B3, B4, left anterior na yan. B5, B6, lateral parts ng ventricle. O left side yan. Okay? So if we turn on the machine, okay, and record activities, ito yung marirecord natin na waves. Di ba alam nyo na to? What is the first upright or first wave recorded? Hello? Ay naman sumagot.
E-wave.
Very good. Okay? What does it represent?
Atrial depolarization.
Very good. Ang galing ha. Yan ang atrial depo. Then followed by the QRS. What is represented by these waves?
Ventricular depo.
Ventricular depo. Sasagot kayo para magaling. Okay? Di ba? Then, the T wave. What is represented by the T?
Ventricular repo.
Ventricular repolarization. Very good. Then, there are times we can obtain a recording called the U wave. Okay? What is represented by the U wave?
Papillary muscle.
Kaya, alam ko, greetings yan di ba? U wave. Di ba may, you welcome a person, U wave. Okay? Then, U wave. Okay? So, what about the papillary muscle? What is happening? Do not just say papillary muscle. These are recording of electrical activities. So, what is that electrical activity? The papillary muscle. Di ba sabi nyo, magme-mention ka ng electrical activity because the ECG records electrical activities. You are correct. T wave, atrial depo. So you mentioned the depolarizing activity. QRS, ventricular depo. Di ba? T wave, ventricular repo. Tapos sa U wave, you only answer papillary muscle. What activity is happening? What electrical activity?
Slow repo.
Okay, so the repolarization, okay, ng papillary muscle. So do not just say papillary muscle. Electrical activities ang nare-record. Okay? So it is not recording or showing us picture of the papillary muscle. Okay? It's the electrical activity ng papillary muscle. But in some textbooks, they are saying it could be due to the repolarization ng Purkinje fibers. Okay? So, these are the different ways recorded. Tapos ang na-observe dyan, we can have a complete picture ng ventricular action potential. Di ba? May ventricular depo, ventricular repo. Depolarization ng ventricle, repolarization ng ventricle. So, we have the action potential ng ventricle. But in the atrium, we only have atrial depo. Pag nag-record na yan siya, yun ang ECG waves na recorded. Okay? So, meron lang tayong atrial depo, ventricular repo. There is no recording Sorry, ito wala pa pala yung atrial. Okay? So, ito yung mga recordings ng ECG, di ba? Na-mention na, ayan, ventricular, atrial depot, ventricular repo, and uncommon U wave. Okay? Ayan sila. So, ito, may recording pa ng U wave. Ayun. Okay? Pero ang commonly recorded ECG waves, yung PRST. We seldom see recording ng Q and the U. Ito, ayan ang ECG. Tignan mo, wala siyang Q wave. There are also no U wave. Ayan. So, yan ang commonly recorded. PRST. Okay? And as mentioned, we don't see recording ng atrial repo. There was no mention of recording ng atrial repolarization. Why? Why is there no recording ng atrial repo? Ay, walang susumagot. Madali yan.
Sa QRS.
Okay, very good. No? But nalilate ang response. Okay? So, yung atrial repo is not normally recorded, but it is happening. Why is it not recorded? It happens simultaneous with ventricular depo. So, kasabay siya, simultaneous with the QRS. And the ECG machine will only record the one with the greater electrical activity. Which one is having greater electrical activity? Naturally, the ventricle. So, we will not see recording ng atrial repo. It is covered by the QRS. Now, if there is an abnormality, we can obtain recording of atrial repo. Kung may abnormality, especially sa ventricle, wherein we don't see recording ng QRS. Kasi may problem sa ventricle eh. May ventricular problem. And it does not generate activities at certain periods of time. If there are no generated electrical activities sa ventricle, there will be no QRS and T waves. So mag-a-appear yung atrial repo. Yan ang recording niya. So ito yung normal P wave. This is the atrial repolarizing activity. Yung atrial repolarizing activity, recorded yan, inverted. Yung tawag nila dyan, atrial T wave. But if you see this recording, mawawala yung QRST. So merong cardiac problem. So hindi normally observed yan. Yan ang normal, di ba? Pag na-observe mo yung atrial repo, absent ang QRS. Abnormal yun. Another problem pa sa lecture, pag pinipresent ang action potential ng ventricle, it is presented like this. Alam niyo na yan, di ba? Sa lecture nyo, ganyan. Pero sa ECG, it is presented like this. What will explain the major, the big difference? Bakit sa lecture, yan ang ventricular muscle action potential. Sa ECG, action potential din yan ng ventricle. Yung ECG tracing na yan. Diba ito, QRS, ventricular depo. It will coincide with phase 0. Ventricular depo yan. Kasi itong T wave corresponds with phase 3. Ventricular repo. So action potential din ng said tracing sa ECG. Involving the QRS and the T waves. Okay? Bakit so different? Both of them are representing ventricular activities. Ventricular muscle action potential. Madali lang yan. Pag-record nito, the presented action potential in the lecture. One doing this tracing is utilizing intracellular electrodes. The electrodes are inserted into the inner part ng ventricular muscle or intracellular. So you let or insert an electrode into the ventricular myocardium. So that will detect intracellular electrical activities. Di ba pag nag-depolarize, magiging less negative, eventually magpa-positive. Pag nag-repo, back to normal, negativity. So that is the one detected by the intracellular electrodes. Sa ECG, as mentioned before, the the electrodes are placed on the skin. So that can detect extracellular electrical changes. And this will be the appearance, okay, ng electrical activity. Pero action potential din yan. Okay? Kaya sa ECG, we have what we call positive and negative waves. And for us to say it is a positive or a negative wave, we have this straight line ng ECG. We call that the isoelectric line. Anything above the isoelectric line, positive. Anything below, siyempre negative. Why is it that we can obtain this recording? Mga positive waves, negative waves. Di ba ang first positive wave, alam niyo na yun, no? The P wave. Yung first normal negative wave, the Q, pero seldom recorded. Okay? Ang second positive wave, R. Okay? Puro depolarizing wave yan. Tapos pag tinanong ka, what is the first positive repolarizing wave? It's the T. Wala namang any other repolarizing waves ng ECG other than the T wave. Lahat yan depo P, Q, R, S, T. Depolarization sila lahat. Okay? So, bakit merong positive, negative? Okay? So, what will explain the recording of this said ECG waves? So, ang stated ng Benz, okay, we look again at lead 2. Di ba ang lead 2, yan ang kanyang axis. Why utilize lead 2? Because the axis of lead 2, if you look at the axis ng lead 2, it is almost similar to the average cardiac vector. You remember the average cardiac vector? Yung average current flow sa heart, di ba it will be moving right to left going down. Kaya sa hospital, pag nagmo-monitor tayo ng cardiac patient sa ICU, the ECG machine is set at lead 2. Kasi ang lead 2, yan ang axis. Almost similar to the average cardiac vector. Kaya para ma-explain yung presence ng positive sa negative waves, we use lead 2. And to simplify matter, we'll not put the axis in this direction. I-horizontal na natin. Ayan. So yan ang ECG axis ng lead 2. Naka-horizontal na. Pero hindi yan lead 2, pag ganyan lead 1. Pero ito for simplification. Kasi we use lead 2 because it is almost similar to the average cardiac vector. Now, if it is a depolarizing activity, and the cardiac vector, yung direction ng current flow sa heart, depolarizing activity, it is moving in the same direction as the as the ECG axis. Same direction siya, yung cardiac vector and the ECG axis. For depolarizing currents, moving towards positive yan, pareho, towards positive. Okay? Same direction yung axis ng ECG and the cardiac vector. Ang recorded wave will be positive. Ayan. Okay? Kaya may recording ka nung positive wave sa ECG. Okay? What about the recorded negative wave sa ECG? So pag negative wave ang na-record, yung depolarizing current, it is moving opposite. Yung depolarizing current sa heart, the cardiac vector, the depolarizing current is moving opposite the ECG axis. Okay? Negative ang deflection nun. Negatively deflected waves. Depolarization lang yan, Kaya, okay, malito Ito. These are recordings of depolarizing activities. What if it is a repolarizing wave? Pag repolarizing wave, and it is following the ECG axis. Same direction as lead 2. Okay? Ang recorded waves mo, negative. Okay? Magkaiba pag depolarization sa repo. Ang recorded positive na repolarizing current, if the repolarizing current is moving opposite the direction of the ECG axis, positive yan. Sa ECG. Okay? Is that clear? Wala man nagre-react kayo. Hello?
Yes
Okay,
po.
salamat. Kaya ito, tingnan mo, yan yung lead to axis, di ba? From right to left going down towards positive. Yan din ang average direction ng cardiac vector. Di ba? Right to left going down. Okay? Ayan ang ECG tracing. Yung transmission ng cardiac impulses sa heart. Di ba? Ang P wave, what does it represent? Ano nare-represent ng P wave? Tama mo kanina, atrial depo. Tingnan mo, atrial depo. So, what is the direction ng atrial depo? From the SA node to the AB node. Di ba? Ayan, okay? Yan ang direction niya. So, it is following the lead to axis. Okay, ang P wave, positively deflected. Di ba, depolarizing current, same direction as the ECG axis. Okay, yung Q wave, tingnan mo, negatively deflected yan. Because the Q wave specifically represents the depolarizing current, okay, moving in the septum. As mentioned before, sa septum, di ba, there is early activation of the left side ng septum before the right. Kaya sabi ko sa inyo, do not forget yung mga direction ng current flow sa heart as it moves from SA node towards the whole cardiac tissues. O sa septum, ayan, mag-move yan left to right. So, it does not follow the lead to axis. Okay, ang Q wave, normally recorded negative. Tapos eventually, where will the impulse go? Di ba, towards the apex? Pupunta na ng apex yon. And the apical depolarization, yung depolarization ng apical portion ng heart, that is recorded by the R. Yung R wave. Ayun. Okay? So, dyan siya sa apical depo. What is the direction ng current flow? Di ba, same direction na? Lead to axis. So, right to left na rin yan going down. Okay? Kasi from the septum, mag-move na yung impulses going to the apex. Ang direction na, right to left going down. Same as the lead to axis. Yung average cardiac vector. Kaya ang R wave natin, recorded upward. Kasi ang direction ng vector sa heart, pag apical depo, same direction as the axis. Okay? Tapos yung S wave, yung S wave, but negative. Because the S wave represents the activity. Yung depolarization happening sa ventricular walls transmitted by the Purkinje fibers moving in what direction? Diba towards the base? Ayan yun ang direction niya. So exactly opposite ng axis. O kaya yung S wave normally recorded negative. Okay? Kaya do not forget. Kaya why we have such positive negative waves. What about the T wave? Di ba repolarization yan? Do not forget sa repo, sinabi ko. Okay, ito balik ko. Pag repo, yan ang repo. Pag opposite, positive. Pag same direction, negative. Okay, sorry, nawala na. Yung same direction. Ayan, same direction, negative. Repo yan, kasi sa heart, medyo magulo. Okay? So, ang T wave, why is it that the T wave is positively deflected? Yung stated a while ago. Okay? Kasi ang observe sa heart, with regards to depolarization, pag sa atrium, in the atrium, the first to depolarize, so region ng SA node, close to the superior vena cava, yan ang first to depolarize. Ang last to depolarize, edi yung parts close to the AV node. Ang observe sa atrium, the first to depolarize is also the first to repolarize. So yung direction ng repolarization sa atrium is similar to the direction of depolarization. Kasi di ba, the first to depolarize, the first to repolarize. Sa ventricle, iba. Sa ventricle, the first to depolarize, di ba, septum yun. That is the last to repolarize. Kaya ang first to repolarize sa septum, yung epicardial surface. O yung region ng apex. Ito yung first to repolarize. Kasi sa ventricle, the first to depolarize is the last to repolarize. Okay? Hindi ka parang sa atrium, the first to depo, the first to repo. Okay? Kaya sa ventricle, pag magre-repolarize na, ang movement niyan, okay? Di ba sabi sa ventricle, the first to depo, the last to repolarize. So, ang repolarization niya, moving in this direction. If that is the direction ng repolarization, opposite the axis, O di positive ang deflection nung recorded T wave. Okay? Di ba yung atrial T wave, o pag ni-record, negatively deflected. Ayan. O bakit negative? Eh, ang atrial T wave will be moving same direction as depolarization. O same as the axis. O kaya negatively deflected. No, pero abnormal yan pag na-record mo yung atrial T. Okay? Pag may recording na tayo, so that will involve utilizing an ECG machine. Just do not forget the standardization. Ayan. Importante yan. If we now have the recording, yung ECG recording, we call that the electrocardiogram. Usually, pag the first to be observed by the cardiologist, yan, lead 2. Tignan mo, laging lead 2 ang unang tinitingnan. And that is the lead following the average cardiac vector. Or the direction is almost similar to the average cardiac vector. Kaya yan muna ina-observe, lead 2. Okay? Tapos it will utilize a special paper. Calibrated yung paper na yan. Meron mga big squares. Yan ang big square. Okay? Boulder yung line. So yung iba ba small squares yan. Tapos one big square. Okay? That is equivalent to 5 mm square. Yung one big square, 5 mm square. Inside the big square, merong smaller squares. Tingnan mo, okay, 5 yan. Horizontally 5 small squares. Vertically 5. So yung one small square, that is equivalent to 1 mm square. Kasi ang big square, 5 mm square. Okay? Okay? So, ano importance ng mga squares na yan? Okay? Or ng ECG paper, yung calibration niya. Yung vertical axis, that denotes electrical activity or voltage. Or the amplitude of the electrical current. Okay? In millivolts. Di ba dapat malaman nyo yung calibration? Ilan ulit? How many millimeter per millivolt?
10.
10 po.
Pakita ko lang, ayan, 10 millimeter. Kaya, one big square, di ba? 5 mm yan. One small square, 1 mm. Ano equivalent ng 1 mm? How many millivolts?
0.1.
Ang galing, ayan. 0.1 millivolt. Okay? Yung big square ngayon, di 0.5. Di ba? So, do not forget the calibration. Yung horizontal axis naman, that will represent time in seconds. Okay? Remember the calibration, di ba? 25 mm per 1 second. So, yung one small square, that will be equivalent to 0.04. Yung one big square, di 0.2. Di ba? 5 times 0.04. So, 0.2 of a second. Huwag niyo kalimutan yan, ha? Another thing about the ECG, okay, or the ECG paper, other than the squares, it has a small, ayun, nakita niyo, no? Nakikita niyo yung cursor ko, ha? Hello? Ayaw naman sumagot.
Yes.
Opo.
Okay, ayan. Yung short vertical line na yan, sa upper part ng ECG paper, that is referred to as the hash mark. May significance yan. Distance between two hash mark, that is equivalent to 3 seconds. May meaning yun, ha? Ayan, 3-second duration yan. Okay? Ginagamit din yan. I'll talk about that later. So, yan ang importance ng hash mark. Okay? So, may meaning yan, ha? Pag meron tayong tracing sa ECG paper, huwag niyo kalimutan yung calibration, ha? Ayan. Di ba? Pag may tracing na tayo, we look at the P wave. Looking at the appearance ng P wave, height ng P wave, we'll know the voltage of the said atrial depot. How strong? Or what is the voltage ng electrical activity ng atrial depot and the duration of the atrial depot. Kaya sa voltage, you look at the vertical axis. Almost 2 small squares yan. Gawin na natin 2. So what will be the voltage of the atrial depolarizing current? Ayan na, nakalagay na 0.1 times 2. Di 0.2. Okay. 0.2 millivolt. Yung duration. Duration, di horizontal. Almost 2 small boxes. Ilan? Ang bagal,
0.08.
0.08. Salamat. Thank you. Okay. 0.08. So if you know the calibration, it's easily to determine the strength of the electrical activity of the specific electrical activity ng heart, o atrial depot, and the duration of the said electrical activity. Pag PR interval naman, what is the importance? As presented, it is the beginning of the P wave up to the beginning of the QRS. So it represents the atrial depot, or duration ng atrial depot, plus the PR segment. What is represented by the PR segment? Ang PR segment, end of P to the beginning of QRS. Yan yung AB nodal delay. Di ba meron delay? You must know the importance of that delay. Yung AB nodal delay na yan. Okay? So, nami-measure natin. Interval lang yan, saka segment. Time lang yun. So, we'll know the exact time ng atrial depot plus the AB nodal delay. If you want to know the duration ng AB nodal delay, you just look at the PR segment. You want to include the duration ng atrial depot. That will be the PR interval. Atrial depot plus AB nodal delay. What about the QRS interval? So, yun ang duration ng ventricular depolarization. If you want to know the magnitude of the ventricular depolarizing current, measure the height ng QRS wave. From the peak of the R to the lowest portion of the S. Yung total height, okay? Total height ng QRS. So, lowest portion ng S hanggang sa peak of the R wave. Okay, di ba? Ang Q wave, septal depot eh. Ang R wave, apical depot. S wave, depolarization moving from the walls ng ventricle to the posterobasal portion of the heart. So, yan ang depolarizing activity. So, kung gusto mo malaman, you want to know the amplitude or strength of electrical activity from the peak of the R to the lowest portion of the S. You get the height. In millimeters, millimeters times 0.1. Yun ang strength ng ventricular depot. Plus yung ST segment. Segment ulit yan. So, duration lang. So, what does it represent? It is from the end of QRS to the beginning of T. What does it represent? Di ba naalala nyo kanina, pinrepresent ko yung correlation ng ventricular muscle action potential utilizing the phase 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and the QRST ng ECG recording. So ano na-represent ng ST segment? If you remember the picture, okay? So ito yung represent it represents the initial period ng repolarization, yung phase 1 and the plateau phase, yung phase 2. Nagre-repolarize na sa dyan, di ba? Natapos na depo eh. Di ba? Initial period ng repolarization, phase 1, then followed by phase 2. So the SC segment represents mostly phase 2. Short duration lang naman yung phase 1. So yan ang importance ng SC segment. Ang T-wave represents phase 3. Phase 3 yan. No ventricular repolarization. Tapos pag pinakita yung ST interval. ST interval from the end of QRS to the end of the T-wave. That represents the total duration. Total duration of ventricular, sorry. Bakit naglalak? Hello? Andiyan ba kayo? Hello?
Yes po. Yes po daw.
Hello? Ano wala?